Good evening. If everybody could take a seat, we're about to start the program. Good evening. Thank you. Okay. All right. Welcome to Helping Hands. My name is Betsy Yost, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Your support is invaluable and demonstrates the strength that community possesses when women give as one. I'd also like to thank this evening's sponsors, the Krizik Group and PNC Bank. Their generosity and commitment to our shared vision has made this evening possible, so let's all give them a big round of applause. During tonight's program, you will hear from our president, our membership and grant committees, and most importantly, our current grant recipients. So without further ado, I'm thrilled to welcome to the stage our Impact 100 Milwaukee president, the driving force behind our organization, Julie Gilpin. Her leadership and passion have been instrumental in shaping the impact we make. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you, Betsy. I'm delighted to see so many of you in attendance tonight at our annual Helping Hands event. On behalf of your board of directors, welcome. We are so grateful that during this busy season of giving, you've chosen to give some of your precious time with our fantastic finalists and our grant recipients tonight. These nonprofits are truly transforming our community, and I suspect that they will inspire and transform us as we hear from them tonight. The work that they do is why we are a part of Impact 100. Remember our mission. Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee is an organization of women who collectively award transformative grants that make a lasting impact on the community. Before we get to hear from our nonprofits, who are the stars of the evening, I have a few thank yous and some updates. As Betsy mentioned, we so appreciate our generous sponsors who make tonight possible. In addition, I want to acknowledge and thank the many hands who have worked so hard to make tonight a success. I ask the following Impact 100 leaders to please stand: Betsy Yost, Kimberly Rennie Weisgerber, Sarah Manning, Maureen Kenfield, please stand, ladies, Renee Mannion, Carla Cumming, Beth Coomer, and Ann Shoemaker. Let's give these ladies a round of applause. Thank you all, and I know there are many others who have assisted behind the scenes, and we thank you all. And a special thank you to the Wisconsin Club for their excellent service in this beautiful room and for their longstanding support of Impact 100. And now for a few, that's good, they deserve. And now for just a few brief updates before we turn it over to our stars of the evening. Since we last gathered in this room for kickoff, for those of you who are here with us, your board of directors, chairs, and committees have been getting their hands dirty, so to speak, digging into the work of Impact 100. We've been so busy, and I can't quite count all the things we've done on just one hand. But in addition to the day-to-day operations that we have been busy doing, there's been some highlights that I'd like to share with you tonight as we look at kind of the halfway point in our year. Our events director, Maureen Kenfield, and programming director, Kim Rennie-Weisgerber, and their team have successfully planned and executed 3 major events already this year. We are keeping our strategic goals at the center of our decision-making. Led by past President Stacy Scheffler and Meredith Niemer, we have piloted a Young Philanthropist program to attract new members and to inspire a new generation of philanthropists. Our amazing team of ambassadors, led by Connie Peer, have worked hard to keep communication with members going, to answer their questions, and to keep them engaged. A task force led by our systems director, Peggy Niemer, has successfully worked on a membership payment option, which will launch in January of 2024. We have a task force that is set to begin in 2024 to help us focus on truly reflecting the greater community we serve and to be inclusive in our membership, activities, and plans. Secretary Norma Herbers is helping us keep on task and update our job descriptions and task lists as leaders of the organization so that our nominating committee, led by Governance Director Kathy Schluter and past President Stacy Scheffler, can begin its work with accurate information in recruiting our new leaders. Our communications director, Margaret Cry, is leading a group who have been meeting with a PR consultant, a woman named Peggy Olson, who has donated her time to us, to examine and improve our brand. We're looking at our social media use, our website, and all of our materials. We want to be sure that we have a consistent look, a strong message, and that we're reaching as many people as possible. Our retention director, Janice Leto, launched a line of Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee merch that was available via an online store, and our vendor was a member-owned business called Olive Productions. Our recruitment director, Piper Plummer, and Janice have started orientations via Zoom for new members that are held each month so that as people join or renew, they're able to be oriented. We are aiming to do only what really matters. We're trying to consider the capacity we have as an all-volunteer run organization comprised of busy women. We want you to stay tuned for more on that in 2024. Our president-elect, Carla Cummings, is leading a work group what is charged with this feat of making sure that we're using our time and resources wisely. We have held numerous mix and mingle sessions at people's homes. We've had recruiting coffees at various locations and hosted luncheons at area businesses to share our story, attract new members, and hope to spread our news about our grants to more nonprofits. Friends of Impact Director Brenda Garbo and her committee have designed and implemented a new year-long sponsorship program, and we have several new sponsors already. Our treasurer, Kate Hauser, has sent out and reviewed RFPs for a new audit firm. That's not the fun stuff we do, but it's important. Beth Coomer and Ann Shoemaker and the grants team are gearing up for their busy season of grants committee work. Today was the deadline for nonprofits to submit their letters of interest, so it's a big day for us in that regard. We continue to learn how to better use our systems and databases, and the list goes on and on and on. No idle hands on this leadership team. I'm also really happy to report that while we're doing all this work, the group is having a lot of fun together. Board members, if you could each stand for a round of applause from our membership. We really do appreciate all the work you're doing. Thank you. Okay, now I need a show of hands from the audience. Please raise your hand if you know why the number 450 is important to Impact 100 Greater Milwaukee this year. Okay, good. That's a lot of hands out there. 450. That's $450,000 in grant money. $450 That's our big goal. Remember, we are working to have 450 members by December 31st so that we can award $450,000 on June 4th at our annual awards celebration at the ICC. Now, we'll reveal our membership number on January 17th after our board meeting, so please watch your inbox and social media for that big announcement. So are you curious about how we're doing? Are you wondering how close we are to 450? Well, I'm going to give you 5 clues, kind of clues and thoughts, just to get you thinking. All right, number 1, we are over halfway there. Number 2, historically, a major percentage of our members wait to renew until the very end of December, leaving us wringing our hands in anticipation. And this year is no different. So please renew so we can breathe a little easier. And just as a fact, historically, our retention rate is around 80%. We have our fingers crossed that this year we reach that 80% or do even better with our renewal numbers for membership. Number 3, we still have a ways to go to get to 450. So please reach out to women who you think might be considering membership and see if you can prod them along and get them to join. Number 4, as you listen to the transformational work being done by our past recipients tonight and think, let's give more. We really should give more. How can we give more? Well, remember, for every 100 women who join, we give away a $100,000 grant. The way we get to give more is by getting more members in the door before December 31st. And 5, the greater Milwaukee community needs our impact. Our grant dollars matter, and we need you. All of our members matter. We need your membership, we need your renewal, and we need you to help us find quite a few more new people before December 31st so that we can reach that big, important number of 450. And with that, I'm thrilled to invite to the stage our recruitment director. You can guess what she's going to talk about, Piper Plummer Mahegan. Piper?
Thank you, Julie. Let's see if we can, I'm generally very loud, but I'll still use this. If I'm too loud, you let me know. My name is Piper Plummer Mahegan, as Julie said, and I am the current membership recruitment director. So you know I've been under a lot of pressure. So we need the rest of you to come on and get on and join. What it really means is that it's my job to spread the word about the great work that Impact 100 does and do it in a way that makes you want to join all of us because we are having so much fun. So that's what I'm working to do right now. And as Julie said, we want to fully fund 4 grants at $100,000 each. And we want the 50 because we want 450 so we can give away even more so that each category gets some money this year. We have 3 weeks to get to that goal now, if I'm doing my math right, which, you know, I'm close. So we've got 3 weeks left to do that. So what does that mean? That means this is our big push time. This is it. And what does push mean? It means renew or join now. We need you to do that. And we've made it as easy as possible. On your table, you'll see there are QR codes. You can scan that, and it'll take you right to what you need to do to renew or join. It's super easy. It couldn't be any easier. Other than that, you can come out and visit us at the table. We always love to see all of your faces and chat with you, so you can do it that way too. And I promise you won't regret it because I have prizes. But you won't regret it first because of the impact that you make in your community. I mean, as Julie said, we can't say enough about that. The impact we make is incredible. When I've been on grant committees, I see all the great work that is happening. But as I said, I do have great prizes. I'm not above bribery. Whatever it takes. We've already given away some because we've already had a couple of people join, so they got some good prizes. So you want to get what's left. But all kidding aside, there are lots of reasons why you want to renew or join that Julie talked about. The biggest one is the impact the organization has on our community. And you've probably been, as you were mixing and mingling, you chatted with some of our grant recipients and heard the impact that we have had on their organization. So, you know, you're making a huge impact in our community. But in addition to that, it makes an impact on you. and you ask, well, how does it make an impact on me? Well, the way I feel about it is you become more involved in your community. You learn about all the great work that is being done in the community. There is so much happening here that is so positive, and we forget about that as we get in our day-to-day and we hear all the negativity, and you get in this organization and you see the great work. I go home many times from these things thanking God for the people that are doing the work, because I can only do so much, and frankly, there's a lot of the work I can't do, and there are people that are doing it. And then lastly, it is causing you to engage what our founder, Wendy Steele, calls our charitable muscle. It's a muscle like any other muscle we have, and if you don't engage it, it doesn't grow. So by joining our organization, you're engaging that muscle and encouraging others to do the same because they see the good work you're doing, so that you're growing that muscle and giving more and more back to your community. And you want a prize. So that's the last I'm going to say on that, but they are pretty good. Now I'm going to introduce the people that really do a lot of the work. Beth Coomer and Ann Shoemaker are grant directors who are going to tell you about what is coming up in 2024.
Happy holidays. And happy Helping Hands. I got that out. That's a tongue twister. Oh, wait a minute.
If you want to see it.
Oh, okay. This is larger print. Okay, so we are very pleased that all of you are with us tonight. This is an excellent turnout. And it is such a pleasure to reunite with our 2023 grant recipients. Thank you guys for coming. Beth and I have so enjoyed our relationship with you. It's amazing. So Beth is going to introduce all 5 nonprofits in just a few minutes. But before we hear from each of them, we would like to make sure all of you, especially our new members, have the information you will need to join one of our 5 grant committees this January.
Yes. And as you know, because you've just heard, for every 100 members, we provide a $100,000 grant across 5 focus areas. So on the next slide, you'll see our 5 grant committee focus areas, the chairpersons, and the meeting dates for the upcoming cycle. You will see this information again in the coming weeks in your Impact 100 communications, but if you want to take a picture now and go home and check the dates with your calendar, you're welcome to do that. But we really want you to have a special note of the dates January 3rd through the 10th. This is when you will receive an email that enables you to register for a grant committee, and that's the best way, we feel, to get involved with Impact 100. Ann and I sincerely hope that all of you will consider serving on a committee. As you can see, the commitment runs from January through April. Our grant chairs for the next grant cycle are here with us tonight, and we like to thank them for giving their time to chair a grant committee. So ladies, come on up. This year, Julie Barris, Bonnie Tesh, and Pam Klein will return as chairs, while we welcome Cynthia Appelbach and Lisa Reckers to our team. Cynthia is not here with us tonight, but you can please feel free to ask all of us, any of us, about any questions you have about joining a committee. You'll probably find us out at that table near the bar afterwards. So Cynthia, some of you may know, will be heading up our Arts and Culture Committee, and then Education will be chaired by Julie right here. And Pam, who's in the middle there, will be chairing Environment and Revitalization. Bonnie will chair our Family Committee, and Health and Wellness will be chaired by Lisa down at the end. We sincerely hope that all members will really register for a grant committee this year and be part of this rewarding process. We'll be at the grants table, so come and find us later.
So I hope you've had an opportunity to review our grants recipients' wish lists. And if you haven't done so, please consider donating to these very worthy organizations. I think there's a QR code on your table for your convenience. Somebody can, yep, there is. So take your cell phone, zoom in, and you're all set. Back to you.
Okay, this is what you've been waiting for, so drum roll. We do have our grant recipients from last year here with us tonight, and we all want to hear what they have been up to. So we are going to welcome the following this evening. Lynn Hildebrand, the Executive Director from The Gathering, Philip Connolly, the Executive Director from Grand Avenue Club, Margaret Fairbanks, the co-founder and Chief Education Officer from Islands of Brilliance, Devin Hudson, the Executive Director from Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, and Lisa King, the Deputy Director from VIA CDC. So please welcome Lynn Hildebrand with an update on the gathering.
Okay, so I can see. Good evening. I want to begin simply by saying thank you. Thank you, Impact 100, for your collective impact, not only for the gathering, but for the other recipients who are here tonight. I'm just thrilled that we were selected this year, as our third time was the charm. We kept coming back, and so we finally made it. But the mission of the gathering is to provide meals and associated services to those who would otherwise go without. For those of you who are at the June annual meeting, you might recall me talking about 150,001. Because 150,000 represents the number of people in Milwaukee who are food insecure, folks who are living without access to healthy food. And those folks are the gathering's meal guests for the most part. We have no intake process. We ask no questions. You come to one of our meal sites and you get to eat a home-cooked meal. And we really, really respect the dignity and the values that our meal guests bring to the table. Our meal guests are our friends. We get to know them, they get to know us. We help them, they help us, and they do help us in many, many ways. They're thankful, they're humble, and they want to give back. And if I pull up in my car any given day, they'll come out to my car and help me unload whatever may be in my car, even if it's just me. But they really, really want to help and give back. I'm a giant feminist, so kind of had to take a step back because most of our meal guests at the one site are males at our hub at Running Rebels, but they really, really want to help us. We are really thankful, as I said earlier, to be a part of this organization. Impact 100 is a great group of women making a difference in the community. And I guess I'll give you guys a plug as well. If you haven't joined, join, because the impact that you make is instrumental to everybody in the community. We have a really small staff. There's just 10 of us. 3 of them are security officers. 3 of us are full-time, the rest are part-time. But we manage to serve over 65,000 meals a year. And we rely heavily upon volunteers. We have over 1,500 volunteers who work with us. Saturdays are run completely by volunteers. We serve meals 6 days a week, 51 weeks a year. Austin, who runs our program at Running Rebels, is a gem. If you have not met him, you need to talk to Austin. He does so much for our program and for our meal guests. But since 1982, we've been preparing and serving nutritious meals. We cook everything fresh on site. And since the pandemic, our numbers have changed dramatically because many organizations didn't have access to fresh food. So we partner with the Benedict Center, a former grant recipient, Running Rebels. We serve at both Running Rebels sites. We serve with the Cathedral Center as well as the Journey Family Peace Center. So in addition to our 65,000 meals we serve to guests who come into us, we send food out. And that's probably another 200 meals a day that we're sending out. And that's really why we have this grant and needed this grant from Impact 100, because we don't have storage space to keep all that food. And so this grant is going to help us so much. We're really excited. We finally got to the point where we have our room set ready to go. We have Fine Brothers coming in to measure and to get all the electrical work put in, and then we'll get our new walk-in refrigerator and walk-in freezer so we can store more food, so we can feed more individuals. What else do I want to tell you? Volunteers, they provide, like I said earlier, bag lunches as well as serving and cooking and coordinating our meal programs. We have a volunteer group that brings in bag lunches every Saturday so we can provide folks food to take with them, because on Saturdays, the next meal that's available to folks who are homeless and hungry is Sunday afternoon. So we provide them with a bag lunch to take with them after they eat their meals on site, but volunteer groups do that. And then it might be a project that Impact 100 wants to get involved with. We distribute gloves and hats and mittens, and we have groups that do collections for that for us as well. We distribute toiletry bags for folks, and as well, groups do all of this for us, and we just are that conduit that gets it out to folks who really need it. And we also provide collaborative services to our meal guests. So we work with Aurora right now. They bring their medical van out so people can get checked for whatever they need to be checked for, blood pressure, you name it, they're helping them with that. We have mental health services as well as housing assistance and veteran support. And I just want people to remember that food is a human right. Some of us take food for granted, but food is a human right, and so many people are denied access to food. There's food deserts. There's 13 food deserts in Milwaukee. That means it takes you over 30 minutes to get to the big box grocery store, not just one of those little corner stores where they gouge the prices and you pay so much for food. So we have 13 food deserts in Milwaukee alone. And when you have more than you need, build a bigger table, not a higher wall. And I want to thank Impact 100 for building that bigger table so we can help serve more people. Thank you.
Good evening. We are a community that works. Since 1991, the Grand Avenue Club has been a beacon of hope and opportunity to Milwaukee residents living with mental illness. Our community-driven approach is a lifeline for those who often feel marginalized and isolated due to their mental health conditions. Through meaningful work, social connections, and educational opportunities, our members regain their independence, self-esteem, and hope for a brighter future. On behalf of the Grand Avenue Club, I would like to thank Impact 100 for believing in our organization, our project, and for your continuous commitment to our mission. Our current kitchen space prevents us from expanding to accept even more members and also prevents us from increasing employment opportunities. Our kitchen layout restricts people with physical or mobility issues. Small spaces can also trigger past trauma. Opening up our kitchen and dining space would eliminate these barriers. Your generous donation will allow us to triple our capacity from 4 to 12 people cooking together. We would increase the output of our homemade meals for others and further expand our culinary education so that even more members can be ready for employment. I would again like to thank and extend our heartfelt appreciation for your steadfast support of Grand Avenue Club. Our building was constructed in 1857, and because of the building's age and historical standing, we have encountered some delays to our project. As we navigate the intricate process of preserving its historical significance while modernizing it for the benefit of our members, we encounter additional regulatory steps and meticulous considerations. These factors, while essential for maintaining the architectural integrity of the structure, have unavoidably prolonged the timeline. Rest assured, your contribution remains pivotal in facilitating this delicate balance between heritage preservation and functional improvement. The good news is, I believe there is light at the end of the tunnel. As of Monday, we finalized the plan with our architect, and we are in the process of sending our plan to a structural engineer. Our goal is to have construction begin in the first quarter of 2024. Your continued belief in our mission is deeply appreciated, and we are confident that with your support, the renovated Grand Avenue Club will stand as a testament to the harmonious blend of history and progress. Thank you.
This time I'm using a script, and I'm wearing glasses. What an honor it is, truly, to be here among so many people who are doing so many amazing things. I mean, we're thrilled to be here. It's kind of hard. I get a little emotional. But as our IOB intern Shane shared the evening, we won one of the Impact 100 grants. We're in the money, right? So now, what are we doing with it? As we eagerly anticipate settling into our new home in 2024, we are already using your financial support to invest not just in more technology, but in the type of technology that, prior to this grant, was simply beyond our financial reach. And honestly, it is so cool. This iPad Pro,
So if you haven't had them, come check it out. It's really cool. So this iPad Pro and the apps that are now available have opened the door to so much more accessibility. In November, we launched an entirely new program called iPad Labs. This workshop provides the widest range of support of students ever, from students who can work independently to students who, prior to this, we were unable to provide their level of support. It's pretty amazing. And it's beautiful how motivating creativity can be when you're allowed to work at your preferred pace and have a voice in what is created, even if you don't have words. But this iPad use doesn't stop there. In addition to the iPad Labs, our foundation workshops, and Sandbox which you're going to hear about in a little bit, we have also launched a total reboot of our Digital Academy. So having this technology on hand is perfect timing, as we have completely evolved our Digital Academy programming. In 2022, we offered 96 hours annually. But in 2024, we'll be able to offer a full 320 hours. And Digital Academy provides, honestly, it's the coolest programming out there. It's the highest level of rigor, and it's truly amazing. It's a space where it's actually okay to geek out on the latest emerging technology, so if you know what that means, this is the space to be. It offers gifted students pre-college and honestly beyond college level of programming. And once word gets out, Milwaukee will be on the innovator map for a long, long time. And if you would like to see IOB in action, come check us out this Saturday at Discovery World. We're running our Sandbox So like I said, Sandbox is running from 10 to noon and from 1 to 3, and we'll launch year 2 of the research funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. And what that is students and their families get to work in teams, experiencing both the joy and the connection that creativity can deliver. So the gift that we received from the Impact 100 is something that, I'm going to get emotional. It's really hard to put in words, but it gets us closer to one of our goals in 2024. And honestly, we continue to delight in the packages that keep arriving with model magic, dry erase boards, speaker boosters, these amazing little canvases. It's wonderful, and that is on top of that initial installment of the Impact 100 gift, which allowed us to buy, once again, come play with it because they're really cool. I can show you some fun stuff, these iPad Pros. But honestly, what this has done is get us closer to that goal. And what that goal is to bring more IOB joy to more families, to as many communities as often as possible. Thank you.
I'm in good company with the reading glasses. It's good to see all my fellow women out there doing that. So good evening, everybody. I'm Devin Hudson, Executive Director of the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you for this opportunity to come before you and speak. And I'm going to start off and just giving you an update on our projects. I am thrilled to finally announce that we're making some finalizations, that we got some major funding just this week, actually Wednesday, I think. We were informed that we just got some major funding to complete the project of our STEM lab, our fitness center, and we're actually able to do some security and safety upgrades around the building. So whoop whoop, there'll be more to come on that. Yep, so we're very happy. So yep, those projects will be moving forward, probably like some of you other ones, the first quarter of '24. And for our next project, we do have another capital project coming up. We're going to do the second half of our playground for our Early Childhood Development Center. Maybe that'll be in our next Impact 100 grant. I don't know, but we'll save that for another conversation. And I also want to thank everyone who actively contributed to the Amazon wish list. Our participants are truly, truly enjoying those gifts, so thank you truly from the bottom of our heart. Those are going to good use, from yoga mats to pens and pencils. I mean, you name it, you guys are pouring those gifts in, so thank you. And so as we talk about gifts and we approach our year-end giving, and many of us think about the organizations that we're going to contribute to, I would be remiss if I didn't share an amazing opportunity that we have going on right now. We have two incredible friends and supporters of the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, former Governor Martin Schreiber and my predecessor, former Executive Director Tom Ellis, have both generously agreed to match and increase contributions up to $30,000. And so I do blame my development director for that. That was his work. Jason, my boss, that was all him. So that's him. And so as many of you, I'm sure you have a phone, so I just welcome you to take that out, scan our QR code, and think about making your contribution. I want to thank everyone once again for all of your support year-round for the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center and the Impact 100 team. Truly, truly grateful for all the work that you do in this community and moving our work forward. Really, truly, the nonprofit community is much, much better having your presence. So we thank you, and I just hope that this is a continued partnership for us. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, all. My name is Lisa King, and I'm the Deputy Director of VIA CDC. VIA is a community development organization that partners with our neighbors to build strong and healthy communities through the 4 pillars of economic development, community building, housing outreach, and affordable housing development work. I'd like to start by sharing a thank you not only to the Impact 100 organization for our grant once again, but also to the individuals that make up Impact 100 for the gifts that we've been receiving through this Helping Hands event. The gifts that we've been receiving are above and beyond the expectations that we had when we created this partnership with Impact 100. They're going to support not only the events and programs that we're putting on throughout this year, but also supporting our new office space, of which we moved into on November 1st of this year, 3524 West National Avenue in the Silver City neighborhood. VIA has been in the same office space in the Sacred Heart Center since we were founded by the School Sisters of St. Francis back in 1995. So we are thrilled to be in a more accessible and visible space to our community that is right there in the Silver City neighborhood. So now, please allow me to share an update on our project with you, the Affordable Home Project. VIA received an Impact 100 grant this year to support the development of 3 1,100 square foot affordable homes on vacant lots throughout the city of Milwaukee. This project is not only an innovative project for Milwaukee's affordable housing development space, but marks a shift from our organization's renovation work to our new construction work. These homes that we are developing will be sold to families who income qualify and make between approximately $12 and $24 an hour. The homes will be sold for $100,000, meaning we're making home ownership accessible to families who would not otherwise have this opportunity. I have some photos. Aha. So, as you can see here from these photos, we've broken ground on our first home in Milwaukee's near South Side neighborhood of Burnham Park. And since these photos were taken, we've prepared the foundation, meaning we've done the excavation, poured the concrete, and are ready for our next step of construction, and plan to have the home completed in Q1 of 2024. As you can also see here from the next slide, VIA is lucky to have the support of not only the Impact 100 members, but also the City of Milwaukee's elected officials, including Mayor Cavalier and our local alderperson, as well as many other organizational and philanthropic partners. I'd also love to give a big shout out to our small but mighty VIA team of 11, of which many are here tonight. Thank you so much for your work in making this happen. I'm also excited to share the news that after we received the Impact 100 grant, VIA applied for and received a contract to develop 18 additional homes in the same style over the next 2 years. With a specific focus on early childhood educators in partnership with LISC Milwaukee and the Community Development Alliance. This is exciting because it not only ensures that VIA can continue to develop these homes, but also addresses the need for quality early childhood education and educators, and emphasizes the interconnection between housing, economic development, and family stability. What this also means is that after VIA sells the homes that the Impact 100 funding is directly invested in, we will be able to reinvest the Impact 100 dollars into safe and affordable homes for the next 2 years and beyond, with each of you contributing to developing safe and healthy homes for families far beyond the 3 that purchased these model homes. So what I'll close with are my thoughts on how VIA's project is a perfect example of how the model of Impact 100 creates a collective impact that would be much less tangible and possible through smaller individual donations. As we all know, building a home is expensive. It's such an expense that smaller donations, while important, do not have the capability to fund or fill a gap to build a home. Whereas through the collective impact of the Impact 100 grant, VIA will be able to develop our project homes as well as continue to use this investment in the future. Thank you again so much for your support.
Okay, so I'm back. And I got prizes. Okay, so we have 2 who joined. Well, we had more than 2 that joined tonight. 2 joined tonight, and they already got their prizes earlier because they came to the table. So after that, we had 2 more. Kathy Schneider, is she still here? Do you want to come get your prize? Or do you want to meet me at the table? Where are you? Oh, wait, not Kathy Schneider. You already got your prize. Sorry, she was the earlier. Sorry. You know, you would think with my glasses on I could actually read, but that is not the case. And I would make a joke about the South, but then I get really irritated when people give people from the South problems about being stupid. So, Stephanie Linzer. That's the name I'm looking for. Stephanie. Woohoo! She gets the blue bag. And then the next one is Kristen Galbraith. I think I'm saying your name right. Are you still here too? Okay, so those are the last prizes for tonight. But you never know, you might find a prize at your door if you renew or join between now and 12/31, because I'll have your address. And then lastly, I just wanted to remind you that the wish list for all of our grantees from 2023 are on our websites. So if you want to give any additional things or you didn't have a chance to look at it, just go to our website and you will find a link to their Amazon wish lists or ways that you can give money and match that $30,000. That is awesome. That is very exciting. So, and I think, is that, oh wait, what? Oh, and you can scan. Kim is holding it. That's where you can scan to join or renew. And the wish lists are on that too. I forgot that you could scan those as well. Okay, I think that's it for me. Now we get to hear more from our fabulous leader, Julie Gilpin.
I don't have any prizes except the joy we should all feel in knowing that we've been a small part in all the great work that our nonprofits are doing. So that's a prize for all of us. So again, thank you to our nonprofits who spoke to us tonight. We really appreciate your time and energy. And we're just so grateful to play even a small part in all of your success. And we truly are very impressed by all the work that you are doing for our community. So thank you. Members, I want to encourage you all to watch your email and communications, so when those emails go out about serving on a grant committee on January 3rd, you can choose, and the slide that the grant director showed earlier that has the 5 focus areas, you met the women that are running those committees, different locations, different topics, so please sign up and make your preferences. We are excited to have a number of nonprofits who have submitted information today, so we will have a great group to choose from. And by serving on a committee, you get to be a part of that process really intimately. And some of you have heard me say this before. I've been a volunteer in the Milwaukee community for over 20 years, and my service on a grant committee, my first year in Impact, was truly the most moving and powerful volunteer experience I have had, primarily because of the site visit and because the organizations that we were reviewing were organizations I had never heard of and wouldn't have heard of unless I was a part of Impact. And I thought I knew a lot about the nonprofit landscape in Milwaukee. So I encourage you, if you have time, we always say you can join Impact and you don't have to do anything, and that's true, but you really get to do something if you serve on a grants committee. So if that fits into your schedule, I would encourage you to do that. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't put in one last plug to please renew your membership if you haven't done that. And if you know of people who should be a part of this work we're doing, please encourage them to join. Now for the really fun news, which is the bar is open. So once we dismiss here, please spend some time socializing and enjoying the joy of the season with the bar next door, right through the doors there. And again, I just want to thank you all for coming tonight. Safe travels home. Happy holidays. And know that we look forward to celebrating and spending time with all of you in 2024. Thank you and good night.
The snowman was a jolly happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. Oh, when they placed it on his head, he began to